And hello YouTube, it's me again with a role-playing question. The other day it just sprang into my head in the morning. Said that I didn't make this video instantly, but I was wondering and pondering fantasy role-playing game systems that have races. Now you have some, how can I say it, standard races, Tolkien-esque races that existed from the beginning of fantasy role-playing games. So they are human, elf, a dwarf, and some kind of a small person in Lord of the Rings universe. It is called a hobbit in Dungeons and Dragons game and fantasy games. It is often called a halfling, but there is also a gnome or a gnome, or I don't know how to pronounce that. And I found it really interesting that there is, elves are elves. There are different races of elves, but elves. Dwarves, different races of dwarves, but dwarves. Humans, ta-da, also different races. But we have halflings, few races of those, and gnomes, few races of them. And the entire, what I'm trying to say is elf is very different from human or dwarf. Dwarf is very different from halfling and elf. But considering gnomes and halflings, what are those basic amazing differences between them? I'm not talking about characters, I'm talking about races in general. I mean, I know that, well, depends what the setting is and how they are described, but generally talking in fantasy games, halflings are more like hobbits in Lord of the Rings. So, they like food, they like company, they like comfort, and they're kind of not open to new ideas so much, but you get the picture. On the other hand, gnomes are more open to adventure, more kind of drinking buddies, practical jokers, and adventure-filled, kind of race. Which kind of changed in some games. In some games they kind of portrayed halflings as more of a, wacky, kind of a really small, spritey, manic pixie kind of, race. In Dark Sun, I think they're cannibals or something. It's just weird when you think about it. Weird, small people eating flesh. Weird. So yeah, what is your take on that? I would really like to see your comments about that. But also the pronunciations. In Croatian, gnomes are gnomi, so G is very, you can hear it. Gnome. Yeah. In British and American English, different a little bit. It's also like herbs and herbs. It's like gnomes and gnomes or something. I don't know. But it's the GN, isn't it? Would it be in Italian gnomes? Like gnocchi? I don't know. How do Japanese say it? Just, stuff to think about. Yeah. Those wee people that are just very small. Wee folk. Yeah. Tell me what you think. I really want to know.